So, the ultimate tier list. Oh man, I dread this thing. I do because again, it's the editing for me. That's what I dread. It's not even the talking points and all of that, but gotta do it. Said I was gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it. Here it is. This was from what 3 months, 4 months ago, I should say. Maybe end of June or mid June, whenever it was. Last hero we added here was Loris, and that was the last SP that was added to the game. Since then, a lot has happened, a whole lot. Multiple new heroes, a lot of awakening SBs, and all of that fun stuff. So again, this is the ultimate tier list, and we're gonna get to it. I think honestly, I need to add another tier because some of these heroes you're not even using them at all, right? I know NU is there, but eventually that's going to get filled up because you're not really using them. So how do we go about this? Do we go from the top down or the bottom up? And also we have the additional new heroes that we need to add into this. So we're going to go with the bottom up. I think that's the more easier part. We'll start in D tier and then I'll switch it up because you guys love to do this thing where you just skip around my videos and I see that you're skipping around. So I'm going to switch it up. I don't know where I'm going next. All I know is that I'm going to D tier and I'm moving around. Okay. So we're going to start with Leo. Where's Leo now? Right? Leo got an awakening. Probably eventually will get an SP. Don't really need it, right? If they're going to super breakthrough Crete. Don't really need Vanguard SB right now. I don't really use them in PvE or PvP. So for that, I'll move him down here. And again, Vanguards, they're looking, and at the current recording, Vanguards are pretty much in the direction of Terran right now. It may change in the future, but again, that is that there. For Trojan, he tend to get some use in PvP, right? I was using him for a little bit, but his SB could be pretty good. I don't have him yet, but I can see it being pretty good in terms of where it is and how on paper it looks good. But if you have him and you've done his SB, let us know in the comments. For right now, I'm actually gonna keep him where he is. For just off of the SB part, because I feel like there's some value there. So we'll keep him there. For Sif, we don't use Sif anymore. We don't. So she's in NU. We're just going to go rapid fire here. Also is Wamigan, Daniel. That's why I say I feel like I need another category because a lot of these D tier heroes are getting moved. Maz is still going to stay in D tier. I thought they were eventually going to awaken. Samira. Maybe we can move away from him. Possibly. Right? With the awakening of Alu. But for right now, he's still going to stay there in D tier. Dominic, we don't use, but his SB is... Okay, I don't even know where it went. I think it just disappeared. Yeah, let it go there. Wherever it just went, I swear it just disappeared. It left. So Dominic just disappeared there. What's her name? Rizaris. Same thing. There's no space, so she's gone too. Rizaris we don't really use. Again, the big thing about her was her what? Giving attack speed. Now that we have gems, there's necessarily no use for Rizaris. She decided to disappear. Okay, cool. Hopefully she comes back at some point. That's very interesting. But again, moving on. We have Jaina. For Jaina, I would say right now I want to give her... I'll give her a B. I'll give her a B because the SB, it's annoying if you max it out, right? Having to deal with it is very annoying. It really is. Trust me, I fight it all the time. So I know that it's annoying. She could do some decent damage in energy form content. She still pumps it out. But again, her problem is that there's no space on the team. Unless you're running the second energy team, then you could potentially run her. Some may pick between going Atlas energy or Terran energy. So that is that there for them. And since we're already here, right, we might as well throw in, we're talking about energy, the new guy For him right now, um, I want to give him a B, right? Because I'm like looking at the energy team and fit, right? They awaken Danix, right? So they look like they're going in the Windfear direction. But again, the thing is this: the energy team right now is full. So if you're not bringing nothing to the team outside of damage, again, good passives is how you stick around on the team. So for him, I don't even see him even making the current energy team, right? So again, similar problem to Jaina, spacing. So we'll slap him in there. Now we'll move on to A tier, move some stuff around. Skino, like I said, for the secondary energy team, yes, if you're running Terran, he's still good there with the fact that he gives the invincibility to the team. But the problem is, you're not using him. You're just not. Right? So for me, I'm like, I'm gonna give him a D right now, right? Move him down to D tier because again, C, yeah, you would use him, but again, problem with energy spacing. And so is Ravenna. But the reason why I wanna give Ravenna would be in C tier. Because I give her C tier because of the fact that you're gonna use her SB. Like in all of PvE, right, where you can slot her in PvP, that extra, what is it? I think it's 20%. Don't quote me on that. If I'm wrong, you can always correct me in the comments. That SB there is pretty good. You don't use her outside of that. So for that, I'll give her a C. Yeah, I'll keep running C tier for there. Alu got an awakening. Again, I don't have her at Awaken 7 yet, but I still think that she could stay where she is for right now. Right where I see her, she can stay there. And again, once I get her to Awaken 7, maybe this will potentially change. One team I wanted to build, we're missing one piece, is a revive team. Because she could be the additional piece. And then get rid of my assassin team. Right? Don't run assassins anymore. It's just a commander for that team is what I'm looking for. But again, she'll stay there at A tier because she just recently got an awakening. Next to her is Neja. Neja right now, it's the same issue. A lot of the issues we're running into is suspicion issue. Where with him, it's either you're running him or you're running Aaron, Awaken Aaron. And chances are not a lot of people are running assassins. I think a lot of people might end up going towards the direction where you run two energy teams, right? Because again, you have a lot of options there. So Neja, I will move Neja down to, but again, I still like his damage. You know, that ultimate, you know, where he dashes across multiple times could be pretty good. He does bump out a decent amount of damage. Little Wu, for Little Wu, he needs an awakening. I'm just gonna keep it funky and move him down to C tier. He just needs an awakening. I haven't really used him in a long time. When it comes to Jaxity's in the same boat. He's still good, is he? I'll go here. I'll put him in C tier for now. Because again, with Jaxity being where he is, if you couple him with Canis, right, he could potentially do some great things there in PvE, but PvP, we're not really using him. Not because of spacing issue, just doesn't make the team. Now, when it comes to Smith used to be the go-to, you know, he used to cheese that a lot. And where is he now? He has an SB, okay, all right, it's all right. It's not as good as, you know, when he dies, right? That's the big thing about him is when he dies. That's the best part about him. The rest is just like, okay. But for me, I think I might move him down to C tier right now because, again, the SB, some people have it, some people don't. But it's just Smith. And, again, if you were running Hunters, he's not going to make the Hunter team. Becky, right now with her awakening, I'm going to give her S. Move up to S tier with that awakening. It's pretty good. I don't have her at Awaken 7 yet, but based on what I'm seeing from her just being at Awaken 5, it's pretty good. So yeah, I like her there. And if you disagree, you already know, drop it down in the comments. Again, I'm trying to go through this very fast. I don't want to spend too much time on moving these heroes around. Next we have Vaz. For Vaz, it's like, yeah, he got an awakening, but again, it's hunters. Who really invest in hunters? You know, I don't really see it unless I'm doing their content. And even when you're doing their content, we just put summoners in there. Let's be real here. So again, he might be great for the revive team, right? Because he has some decent passives there that he gives to revival, and that's what we're missing for the revive team. So again, I'll keep him there in a B tier because again, he did get an awakening, and when you couple him with the hunters, he actually does pretty well. He can sit up front, he is tanky, and he has multiple revives. So again, some good things going on. Laris, keep her where she is. In PvP, she's a monster. She's a beast. When you put her on an energy team, she's actually pretty good. Yeah, she could be the answer for Seikai sometimes, depending on how good your energy team is, right? Obviously, if you have your own Seikai, she can help out. She'll probably be the last one standing because of the multiple revive. And she's also another unit that could make the revive team. But again, we need additional pieces to make that team come to fruition, right? Or fruition, right? That's the word? Yeah, whatever. But again, I like her there. Again, a lot of people probably don't even have her at more than 2 copies. So I'll keep her at an A. What is it? Averdon? Averdon, I see him on a lot of tank teams randomly, right? Him and Uguay, yes. I see him on a lot of tank teams. So again, I don't really personally use him, so I'm just gonna go with B here just to keep him in that slot. And then from there, since we're already talking about tanks, we also have a new tank that was added maybe a few months ago, or recently, better word. Recently, we'll add our new hero here, which is Vigor. I'll put him in A tier. The reason I put him in A tier is because now that the tank team it's slowly shifting, right? Where you may not even run Panda because you have his SB version. And this guy, the good thing about him is a 20% increase to max HP. And that's great for the tank. So when you couple him with Kara, Connor, him, and also Orton, which we'll talk about later on in this video, it couples for a great team, right? Because again, that 20% increase in max HP is huge, right? Pretty good there. So again, I like him there. More of a supported role, right? And you know, occasionally he may do some damage, but again, he's just there for the 20% increase in max HP for tanks. That is very huge, right? So we'll keep him there, right, at A tier. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna disagree, but it is what it is. So now, since C tier is overload, we're gonna go to C tier. We'll start with Take and we'll work our way to the left. Take, honestly, I want to say D tier, right? Because again, it's passive. The passive is great, but again, it's only limited to, I think it's only limited to Atlas heroes. I wish you would get an awakening where they make it so it's energy heroes, right? Just that alone. Everything else would be fine, where the reduction, where you can't take more than a certain amount of damage. That would be crazy for Seikai, right? Well, she already get the effect anyways, but if he gets an awakening, just watch out, right? Take would probably jump up to the S tier, and you'll still have that passive. And if they change it where it's all energy and hunter heroes, that would be nuts. But again, we'll leave it at that. For Aaron, his awakening is weird. It really is. It's like it didn't really bring much to the table, right? I felt like it didn't really bring much to the table. But again, when you look at the Assassin team, the problem with it's the same thing that most of these teams have, which is spacing, and it's you're choosing between him or Neja, because you already have Sam in there, you have Korra, Wukong. This is based off of just having these units. Neo, which is the new unit, we'll talk about him in a second, and I think there's some other units that make it, but again, with him, his awakening is okay. I'll give him, I want to say B, He's already in C. We'll move him to B tier for right now, right? It may change depending on what I say after Neo. Speaking about assassins, we have the one, right? That's what he claimed to be, but I don't think he's the one. I don't think so. For Neo right now, I'd have to go back. Oh, I found Dominic, by the way, in Arcadia. They're added back to the bottom of the list. Okay. And Neo right now, I would give him A tier, not S. I just don't see it, right? Maybe I would have to go back and take a look at him. And if you're using him a lot, let me know, because the only time I really use assassins is in PvP, right? And they're there when I need 5 teams. That's the only time I use assassins. Even in their own form of content, I don't use them. So again, we'll have him there in A tier. Again, if you go and check the spreadsheet does not correlate with this because this is new information, right? So again, keeping him there. We're now moving on. Next up, we have the new awakened hero, Danix. Danix to me right now, with the good damage, this is an awake. I'm going based off of her being an awakened 7. The 5 revive, right? Obviously, if she run into LB, then it doesn't matter. You ain't getting none of those revives. But again, when there's no LB, 5 revives at awakened 7, that's pretty cool, right? And the damage looks good now. So again, I'm thinking like down the road when you're watching this, is it really going to be worth it to invest in her? We're not going to have another energy hero for a long time. And the way how the energy team is, spacing issue, a second energy team could be interesting, but for her viability for the upcoming revive team, I could see it. We're headed in that direction. We're going to have a revive team at some point. They will replace the assassin for your 15. I could just see it because I'm going to end up creating that team anyways. So we'll move into S tier for right now. That could change depending on when you're watching this, right? So we'll have her there. Gora, at this point, unfortunately, yeah, we just got to go down here, right? She's going down to D tier. You still use her because you don't really have much of a choice, right? Well, you could ignore her, but if you already have her maxed out, most people already do, right? Because you've been building her slowly through Hell Arena and all of that. She's just D tier right now. She just don't do what she do, right? Because there's other assassins out run her because she's more of a support in a sense for the bonus passives that she brings to the table. So that's why she's still on the assassin team. And remember, assassins are only used for when we're using 5 teams. So just keep that in mind. This is why she's all the way down here. Next up, we have Anpu. I'm going to keep him right where he is. C tier. He's still good in PvP. PvE, we don't really use him so much, right? There's literally, at this point, no use for him in PvE because of spacing issues. If they go to... No, even then. Even if they had 6 heroes, we probably still wouldn't even use him because, again, I would probably put in another support-based hero, put in Cariolis, right? And then run it like that. But again, still good in PvP. Still good. That HP manipulation, stuns, and all of that is still great. And I actually removed all of the collab heroes because, again, you're not going to use them and you don't have access to them if you started after the collab event, right? So speaking about that, Purin, we're at the point now where we're no longer using her. So she goes down to NU, right? Actually, matter of fact, she should be completely removed off of this list because, again, you have no way of getting her. And if you already have her, you're probably not going to use her. So that is that there. I don't have much else to say. Lemma got an awakening and she rips. She does rip, but she's not even as good as her original version, right? You got an awakening, you didn't go back to the original version. But when I do see her on the hunter team, she does do some good damage, right? There's other better hunters like the Halistars and speaking about hunters, right? Since we're already on the topic, we also recently had a new hunter added to the game, Billy. thing is with Billy, when he's in Interstellar and he has a proper bonus, he's pretty hard to kill. He gets very annoying. So with him being a hunter, I forgot if he has a revive, or he might have a revive in there. I'll just put him here in B tier because again, hunters, a lot of people don't really use them, right? But again, for a new account, he could be pretty good or annoying to deal with, especially in PvP, right? So I'll give him B there for right now. We still have 4 additional heroes to add on to this list, and of course we'll continue to move on. So for Orton's Awakening, Arden's SB, right? Orton overall, the fact that with him, he's a part of the tank team, he increases their damage. He's good like that. He's like that, right? Honestly, for Orton, I want to put him in S tier because of again, if you're gonna bring him to Awaken 7, you might as well bring him to SB 5. He could help you out with that energy team, right? Because he drops right in the middle. They take the damage. I wish he would have removed shields. You know, I'm very big on that. It would have been great if he would have removed shields when he dropped in the middle. Like him just dropping, remove the shield, and then do the damage. That would have been awesome. But again, he also has some revives. He may make the revival team, right? So I'm still working on that. I'm just missing one more piece. So that is that there. We have Rez Awakening SB. He's still, if you get him up to like a SB 8 or around there, eventually you will. He increases your damage, which is fine. So he'll end up making it in a situation like if you're facing Vanguard situation, you need that extra energy. He can come in. I wish he would just target the. Actually, matter of fact, no. What I wish he would do is that he would give energy or rage, depending on which unit he's targeting. That's what they missed on when it comes to his SB. They should have gave him that, which would have been fine. We would have loved that. That would have been great, because when you put him in the Vanguard situation, chances are he's targeting the unit with the lowest energy or rage instead of the lowest energy, right? They didn't even fix that, but that is what it is. There's not much we can do about that. Next up, we have Teresh. For Teresh, we're going to move him down to D tier. Yes, he has an SB, but again, he's not really on the tank team. You're not going to really use him. You may need an awakening. The C was based off of his throw, and of course, Carriolis interrupts that. But another thing you could probably do, but would he get interrupted? If he throws LB, well, LB is going to rush back there anyways. Yeah, but he'll still probably get interrupted because of, you know, I'm thinking energy, because you're going to face energy on defense anyways. In PvP, we don't really necessarily need the throw, right? There's no situation for it. So again, could be, and he's one of the boys. That's why I don't give him NU. That's why I'm biased there. That you would have gotten NU if he wasn't one of the boys. But again, I know it's one of my favorite heroes, so I'm gonna give him D tier. Very biased. Realistically, it's NU. Like, come on now, it really is. But let's move on. Next up, we have Luke. Luke got an awakening, but again, he has his moments. It's rare, rare way you use him, right? And we'll just give him D tier there. There's no space for him. Maybe he could make the Windfear team. I don't know if the new hero here has a revive. He has his own weird illusions, which really don't do nothing but stand around and soak up damage, right? So again, maybe a Windfear energy team could be a possibility, and then you can bring out your Luke. When it comes to Zane and you, to be honest, needs an awakening. Hopefully by the next time we come back to this tier list, he gets an awakening. Not really using Zane, to be honest, and I think, yeah, I'm correct. He would be great with an awakening, very squishy and all of that, but again, just not using him. Let's go through B first, and then we'll add another one. So if you're still watching, if you're not skipping around, then let's move into B tier here. We're gonna start with Rose. Rose right now, I haven't really used her in a long time. I really haven't. I have not. And she's not making the team, right? She's not making the team. Spacing issue. But could the damage be good? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to go back and look at some of these heroes, because a lot of them, they're the Immortal 5, but they get pushed out of the team because of a spacing issue. And this is what I want you to look at, especially if you're a new player. When you get a new hero coming to the game, check out their passive, right? That's the biggest part. That would determine if you stay on a team or not. Because think about someone like Anpu. Great passive, great abilities. Those are the things you want to look for. Because even though he don't have the value in PvE, he still have that great value in PvP. So keep that in mind. Bergman, one of our boys, we don't really use him at all, and he don't even make the team. He is great for a new account, right? Because he heals and he removes shields, single target. Nobody wants single target AoE. We need AoE. That's what I should say. We need AoE shield removal. And he's one of the boys. Of course, I'm biased like that. If you're one of the boys, we keep you around, right? Again, he is NU because again, we're not really using him. It's just not at this point, right? Rick got an awakening, but again, it wasn't enough. That 25% execution is pretty good in Twilight Lands, right? When we were struggling with Twilight Lands. But for right now, he could make the Assassin team if you don't have the Neja, you don't have the Neo. Maybe if you have him at Awaken 9 and 10, possibly he could be on the team for those damage increase and damage reduction, sure. So for those reasons there, we'll just move him down to D tier, right? Keeping him there. For Claire at this point, as crazy as it sounds, it's NU, right? She's one of the other older Awaken heroes. By this point, you probably have an Awaken 9, but it's still spacing issue. We're running into this spacing issue. Maybe we need a 7th hero, possibly at this point, right? That'll be interesting. So now we have 2 SPs. And before we move on from there, since we're already talking about a Vanguard, I'm actually going to talk about Raz. Raz cooks, especially when he's facing tanks, right? He cooks at some points. And he could be good. I just wish they would fix his ultimate so the slash goes towards the target, not just thin air. So with that, I'm actually going to put Raz here. You're probably going to disagree with me on this one. In A tier, right? I like him there, right? Most of these newer heroes, you see they're in A tier there. But again, for him, I don't know if he would continue to stay on a team, but again, his passive does nothing for the team. That's the other thing. He doesn't really do much for the team. So Raz right there, he's okay. For the 2 SPs, we're gonna do them together. I'm gonna actually move them down. Don't get me wrong. When it comes to Artemis is still good. Like I put her in the energy team mixed with Loris, and it makes for a great combination because again, her interruption and of course she removes shields. Gotta love it. But for right now, you're not using hunters. What content are you really using her in? Right? You could argue that it's NU at this point, but it is an SP. And maybe even down to D at this point. Maybe. You let me know down in the comments. We'll adjust this list based off of the feedback that we get. So the more feedback you give, the better the list will be. Heindel's in the same situation. I'll keep him here in C tier because again, only PvP. No, you use him. I use him especially in exotic expedition because for right now I need to go through the charge, so I just put him in there. There are times where he's great, and there's times where he's not. PvP is where he shines. So again, just having him there, that's all we have to say for Heindel. Not really much going on there. Next up, we have Uguay, right? That's what I call him, the turtle guy. I see him on a lot of tank teams of late. Is he really that good? Right? I don't use him because, again, it's always going to go back to the spacing issue. Don't have room for him. If I run him, I have to sit Rez. I forgot that. That's just why Rez also in C tier because he does have the ability to help out the tank team. So for right now, I think I'll keep him where he is. Just keep him where he is because it seems like that's a decent spot for him if you actually use him, because it seems like he could be pretty good. He does have a revive too, so gotta keep that in mind. For Emma right now, I'm actually gonna just bump her down to C because again, I don't run hunters, so I'm a little biased there. You let me know in the comments where she sits. I'm putting her to C because she does have an awakening. She also has a SB, which it's not that great as it used to be. Again, when you were in Twilight Lands struggling, she was great. But for right now, when you have Dora doing 100 billion damage, right? Like, come on now. That's like the bar for damage for SBs. And you're only doing 2 billion. Come on, right? You're lucky I don't give you a D tier. Only reason why I don't is because you actually have an awakening. You could potentially bring it to awaken 9 and get a 10 to get that increase of damage and damage reduction. So is her girl, Rebecca. C tier. Move her there. I don't want to go too deep into that. Hunters. Like I said, hunters. Right? And that, with that being said, since we're talking about hunters, we also had a new hero, Kira, that was also added to the game. And with her on the energy team, on the hunter team, she cooks. Right? Only thing that's unfortunate is that we're still stuck with Miranda, right? So again, I'm actually gonna give her because of that. And if you're doing energy content, right, you could potentially slap her in there. So we'll keep her there at A tier. A lot of these new heroes are coincidentally falling right into A tier. Is that by design? I don't necessarily think so. But yeah, that is that for B tier. It's looking pretty good. Everything's well balanced. Now we're gonna go to S, and we're gonna remove from Rubier all the way down to Zamira. So first up, a lot of supports up here. We have a Rubier now, based off of spacing issue and what he brings to the table. I would move him all the way down to B, right? I like him here in B tier, right? I could see him being there. Again, it's a spacing issue. Is he good? Yes, he could help you out in a couple of situations, but again, there's other Vanguards that are there, newer Vanguards that can help you out. So again, spacing issue for him. That's the biggest problem he got going on. Next to him, is Sam. For Sam, same situation. We don't really use assassins. We only use them in PvP. And with him, at least you can bring him to Awaken 10. And you can get that damage increase and damage reduction from 10 and 9. And he has a revive, and he could potentially he wouldn't make the revival team because he has about 3. Right? So yes, I'll put him there in A tier for right now because of the awakening and the potential for him to get onto the revive team. We're just missing one unit, literally. Once that other additional unit comes, that team will be complete. So again, next to that, we have Nord. Nord right now is running into a spacing issue too, where with the new hero that's added and the awakening of Danix, Nord is still good. That stun is great. So does that change where he stands? I'll move him. I'm moving him down because of this, right? The reason why I'm moving him down to A is because realistically, you're not going to use him even in PvE, right? Because again, he's never in the right spot. In their content, he moves too much around. He actually ends up disrupting everything. Where you can put in another one of these additional heroes and then they'll do more damage. And I already see Danix being a better, tankier version because in PvE you don't really need the stuns, but his stuns is great, so that's why he's in A. Makes a lot of sense there. Ares, right now, it's just a big drop for Ares because again, with him, we're looking at the same thing, spacing issue, right? So for him, he's actually gonna get dropped all the way down to C tier because you could still potentially run 5 Vanguards. You don't PvE, he's just not going to make it to the team because again, space in LB. Roz. We also have Becky, right? That's already 3 there. And then the support Zamira, that's 4. And of course, I think did I say what's this guy's name? Heindel. So again, we're already full. The team's full. We can only run 5 in PvE, right? So again, space an issue for him. Of course, most people probably brought him to Awaken 10, which for that you probably could run 5 Vanguards and of course Maz. Yeah, no Zamira. For Assasin, right now with the Summoner team, she's still there. PvP, so we'll just give her the B right there and keep it at keep that going, because again, right now there's not another choice. I feel like once the new Summoner come out, which is eventually going to happen at some point, she is probably gonna get moved to the side, because again, good passives and the awakening of a Lu. We have to choose between the person I'm going to talk about soon or our Lu, right? So now we're stepping into supports. There's a decent amount of supports here. Fiona. For Fiona, I actually want to move Fiona down to B tier. The reason why I want to give Fiona B tier, I know she's a 6-0. Yes, great. But again, Assassins, you only using them in one. Yeah, she can make. Actually, matter of fact, no. We'll go to A, right? Because she can be used on the Vanguard team, and she can be used on the Assassin team. I've moved away from using Maz on my Vanguard team because I realized that my Assassin team will beat out most of the other Assassin teams in Hell Arena. So I just move her to the Vanguards and she helps out there. But again, against range units, she gets cooked. She's going to get packed up. She has no protection against that. So being able to be used on the Assassin team and on the Vanguard team and getting packed up in a situation where we actually need you, where does that put you? Honestly, I'm gonna move her back down to B for the fact that when I go against energy, right? Because again, I want to match up my energy. I want to match up my Vanguard units against energy, right? You die. I'm sorry. Yes, you can teleport away from melee, but you don't teleport away from range. So we'll leave it at that. For what's her name? For Servali. When it comes to Servali, I still like her here because again, in PvP, you're going to use her, right, on the Summoner team. She also have a revive too, which isn't bad. But again, the revive does not give no benefit to the team. It's just she come back to life. And actually, matter of fact, now that I said that, I'll give her an A for that. Just because of that, because her revival, it's great that she has it, but if she's taking heavy damage, she dies. She's just gonna die right after it. There's no reduction, no nothing. That's all it brings. She's a 6 hero. She worked well with Ampu, of course. That's PvP based. She used to be great in PvE, then they nerfed her. Yes, she got nerfed. She got nerfed in PvE because her shields got nerfed pretty much. So we'll leave it at that. Right now we have Panda, right? I want to say Panda's a linchpin, but again, I actually moved away from him. Yeah. I'm actually going to move Panda down to B tier, right? Because I moved away from him. Because again, his SB is great, right? It is. Let's go to A. We'll just put him in A for right now because again, I'm thinking about the SB, and you tend to use that in multiple situations because of the protection that SB7 gives, and of course, it works well with the tanks, right? He's going to be great there, right? We'll leave it at that. We'll leave him at A for right now. When it comes to Kara, right? Cariolis, I still have Cariolis there in S tier. We'll keep him there, right? Because again, he's still on the energy team in PvP, and he can actually make Team Annihilation when you sit Amat. Yes. So in Twilight Lands, he does have some value there, and of course, he increases AoE damage off of his ultimate. So that there is huge. I love that, which is great for me, right? Because I have him. I think I awakened 8. I need to move him to 9. Space an issue with energy. I think a secondary energy team might need to be in the works. And speaking about energy, we also have Miranda. We're stuck with her for right now. And I think her tier grade, she can stay there because, again, she works with hunters. She works with the energy team. She's the 6th hero. You're going to use her on the energy team anyways, depending on if you're facing tanks or you're facing those Vanguards. You can put her in the front if you're facing Vanguards. If you're facing tanks, move her to the back and couple her with the new energy base Kara. Couple her with her, you have no choice. So until Kara gets an awakening, Miranda will still be around. And with that being said, yeah, I don't want her there. I just don't see her as an S tier unit, right? Because you're not using her in PvE. We'll give her the A, move her down, just knock her down a little bit. And speaking about that, we also have a new hero that was recently added to the game. For her, could she be good? Yes. Could she work on all teams? Yes. Problem is, you're taking up space. That's a problem. You're taking up space and you're not really bringing much to the table. Yes, your stuns sounds great, but at the same time, it doesn't last for that long. The stuns is all that it is, and the effect, it's just like 2 seconds, if that. 1 second when it activates and it is gone. So that's that there. We'll leave her in B tier for right now. And last but not least, in the S tier category, we have, what's her name here? Nobody moved up to S plus? Huh? Really? Guess not. Zamira. Zamira right now, she's just getting pushed from here to there, right? Sometimes she don't even make the Vanguard team, and she needs an awakening. So I'm gonna give her a C for right now. Yes, she's the part of the Vanguard team, but if you're running 5 Vanguards, like I mentioned, you put Ares in there, is it really necessarily to have her? Not necessarily, and she can't even protect them when they're in their own content. Chances are you'll sit her and run Canis, right? Because Canis works well. So now we have the final tier, right? Let's see where other units end up, because we also have some units up here that are S tier. Some of them are gonna get moved, and some of them are going to remain. So we're gonna go from the left to the right. We'll start out with Canis. Canis right now, because of the meta, right? With the fact that Team Annihilation is pretty much all you need for PvE, right? That's really what you need. Just put them in there. There may be a variation where you remove a certain unit and stuff like that, depending on the situation, right? But Team Annihilation runs PvE. So Canis, off of that, other than the fact that you can use him in Vanguard situations, because again, you would have to couple him with another hero, which is also in the S tier plus category, right? To get out that ultimates, you can use res to push out some of that, but that's timing issue, right? So again, I still have Canis up here for the value there, and also the value in PvP because of tanks, just making it bigger. They love all of that. That is great. Next up, we have Daji. She just stays where she is. We're not even going to talk too much about that. If you're a new player, get Daji. Daji is great. She's that good. Now we moved on to Dora. Dora was getting the S plus because of her spot on the PvP team, and also the fact that she was going crazy with her SB. For right now, SB is great. You don't really use her sometimes because of a spacing issue when it comes to the summoners in PvP. PvE, you don't use her at all, right? So again, outside of the SB, for that reason there, I'm actually going to move her down to A tier, right? Not even S. Yes, the SB is great, but again, you're not really using her unless you don't have. I'll pull it up here, right? I'll show this eventually, but again, it's a spacing issue for her. So again, we're gonna move on to Connor. I don't think he's S plus. I just don't. I honestly, I like him, but again, like, you're not making Team Annihilation, right? You're not on that team. But PvP, there are times where he gets cooked. the lady that was next to him just be packing him up. Yes, he can protect the team. That was beautiful. Love the protection. And also, when he has that protection, that's why I have him in S. When you have on those layers, the layers pretty much goes for the whole team, and that's great. And of course, it gives you your ultimate, but it can be manipulated when you use energy down. I wish he would have ignored that. That would have been great. But again, energy down, it reduces the energy you're supposed to up off. Coupling him with Canis, of course, it's a great show for those tanks. But when you meet the unit that I'm going to talk about next, just gets packed up. He does. Energy packs him up a lot. So for that reason there, and we're not really using him as much in PvE, we have to dock him down to S tier, bring him back down to reality. Sekai is up there with her awakening, right? Probably, arguably, one of the best heroes in the game. Yeah. Probably, yeah. Because Deiji, right now with LB being there, she's in a situation where in PvP, right, she could become rendered, useless, right? Or irrelevant. Because once those foxes die, that's it. They revive. And she has revival too. But she would die. Like the first death, she's dead. I just realized that. I literally missed that part because again, her foxes die. You take her out, she can't be invincible, right? I think she needs the foxes to be able to go into invincibility, and then she'll die, and then that's the end of it. Wow. Yeah. So again, Sekai, probably one of the best heroes in the game, arguably. So she'll stay up there in S+. For Wukong needs an awakening, and I can see it coming. And I'm not going to change the tier list again or make another tier list video unless I did like a variation of it where we focus in on a particular class or top 10 at some point. I'm going to keep it on S+ because eventually he's the next person that's going to get an awakening. And by the time he gets an awakening, he's just going to be that guy. And he's Big Woo. Cannot give Big Woo S+, right? Next up, we have Akai. Akai's pretty good, right? Is he S tier plus? He is a part of Team Annihilation. Yeah, he is. He really is. But I just feel like I want to move him down to S for right now. I know you're probably going to disagree with me with that, but the damage isn't there. He's not even on the energy team. Keep that in mind. I even move him to my tank team because he helps out with the AoE damage. I'm trying to list off some reasons why I want to keep him up here. And even if he dies, his effect lingers. S+. Yep. Because if he dies, as long as he can get that effect out, even if they were to one-shot him, and he also have cheap death, right? I think so. Yeah, we'll keep him there in S+. For Kara. Kara's good in situations where he can steal HP. Outside of that, you can't really use him. He's in PvP, yes, but in PvE, if he can't steal HP, I wish they would have capped it and let him steal HP from the bosses. That would have been nice. So with that being said, you can actually just get him to 3 for a newer player. Yeah, S+, because it's gonna help you out in that earlier content. He's gonna run through a lot of that. Yeah, we have to keep him there just for that alone, right? And of course, when you get him to Awaken 7, he steals more HP and all of that fun stuff. Amat's Amat. Well, she has her girl Deiji next to her. She's amazing. Part of Team Annihilation. This is why she's up here, right? S+. Damage is great. Trillions of damage. Pumps it out. Sometimes they're competing. They go back and forth. Sometimes she leaves Deiji in the dust and they go back and forth. So definitely still like her there at S+, and probably till someone comes along that can, replace her on the summoner team, but I don't really see that just happening just quite yet. Barag, well, I'll come back to him in a second and then we'll conclude the video, right? Alistar, S+. What can I say? Layers, there's nothing you can do about it yet. Till we get a unit that can remove layers, that's more for PvP. then there is units that remove a layer, but removing one layer, what is that really going to do? He's just going to put them back as soon as he casts the ultimate, regenerates energy, works well in Vanguard content, coupling with Canis. You know it's going to be a great show. And of course, the layers, the dodge. Who knows what dodge does? Dodge doesn't really work that well. And of course, he has cheat dead. So if you kill him early, he comes back to full health, basically. So great there. You put him on any team. He's like Purin 2.0, but a little bit better, right? Because he actually does damage. So cheat, lifesteal will actually work for him. Barag right now, probably one of the better damage dealing Vanguards. So for that, actually, I'm moving here. But again, with him, do we even have space for him if we're going towards Terran? Yeah, but his damage is great. So if you're running 5 Vanguards, you're probably going to have him at Awaken 10 at this point, or at least 7, right? So I know somebody's going to say in the comments, well, his value always dies. And this, that, and the third. Yeah, he has his moments, but when he's pumping out that damage, he does. So again, if you skip all the way to here, because I can see your face, I can see it. You're the type. Still love you. Last but not least, our newest boy added to the game, new SP, new hero, of course. We're gonna put him up here because again, he's just that guy. Yes, in PvE, he's not really well. Actually, in his own content, he's a beast. What am I talking about? In his own content, maxed out, he puts up the most damage. They don't even compare. What am I talking about? Outside of their content, yeah, he's not really usable, but in PvP, he changes the whole dynamic of the fight. If you go back and watch my, what is it, Awaken 5, what's this lady's name, Danix video, when he was placed in there, the energy team that I couldn't beat, you know, the energy team that I fight a lot, you'll watch my content enough, you know which one I'm talking about. Placed him in there, he shut down Seikai. He can shut down Seikai, he makes Daisy irrelevant, right? And just the mere fact that he can interrupt, it can't be interrupted, that's what I should say, can't be interrupted, right? And he also blocks cheat that, he blocks revival. Just having him over there would just shut down the whole revival team, right? So again, just that alone, and of course he starts out with focusing on SPs in PvP. I like this guy at S+, and he's one of the boys. So this here's a tier list. If you disagree, right, take it with a grain of salt. It's just my opinion. You don't have to. It's just my opinion. You take it as it is, right? Take it with a grain of salt. So if you made it this far in the video, the word of the day is going to be Vanguards, right? They got their SP, and it's pretty good. It was bad when he first came out, but you know, it is what it is. They buffed him, and that's where he's gonna be. I don't see them changing him. I wish they fixed his ultimate where he dashes in when there's only one target. Other than that, boy's good. So if you're new around here, you want guides, tier lists, yes, it's here. Updates, walkthroughs, all of that fun stuff. This is a channel you want to subscribe to. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We only need, I think, 60 around there until we get to 2,000 subscribers. For those that are rocking with me, let me know how you feel about the tier list. And without further ado, I want to thank you for watching. Till the next video. Peace.